Well, I'm excited to be with you again today for this podcast and video devotion that is part of our Bible reading plan here at First Baptist Church. We are in John's Gospel, chapter 9 today. This beautiful story of Jesus healing a blind man who had been blind from birth. And how the religious leaders, the Pharisees and others just they couldn't stand it that Jesus was healing somebody. They had an unteachable spirit. That's what I want to talk about for a few moments, having an unteachable spirit. In verse 13 of chapter 9, they brought to the Pharisees the man who was formerly blind, so this man that Jesus had healed. Verse 14, now it was a Sabbath on the day when Jesus made the clay and opened his eyes. And the Pharisees were asking him again how he received his sight. And he said to them, he applied clay to my eyes, and I washed, and I see. And look how upset the Pharisees were in verse 16, if you've got your Bible open. Therefore, some of the Pharisees were saying, this man is not from God because he does not keep the Sabbath. Now, imagine. They were more upset that Jesus healed this man on the Sabbath than they were excited that he had been healed, that a blind man could now see. And because Jesus performed this miracle, this grace act of God to heal this man, because he did it on the Sabbath, they considered that working, and they were angry and said, he can't be of God. I don't care how many people he heals, how many people he helps. If he does it on the Sabbath, he's not of God. He's a sinner. Wow. Wow. And then they bring the man's parents in because they don't believe he's really the guy who was blind. They think it's all a hoax. And the parents say, yes, he's our son, and yes, he was blind from birth. Now, how he got his sight, we don't know. They bring the blind man who now sees back in. He says, yeah, it was this Jesus who healed me. And they continue to resist and be angry. And verse 31, the man is speaking to them, and he says, we know that God does not hear sinners, but if anyone is God-fearing and does his will, he hears him. And it's just this beautiful, beautiful teaching by this blind man to the religious leaders, and they reject it all. They just reject it all. What's heartbreaking is how their arrogance and their pride, their desire to hold on to their power and position, to win, caused them to be unteachable. Having a teachable spirit is a good thing. Having a teachable spirit is what a disciple needs if he or she is going to learn and grow. Unfortunately, our culture today does not promote having a teachable spirit, does not promote listening and learning, but defending and attacking at all cost. And the result is sometimes we remain ignorant. We lack understanding because we're not teachable. And that is a sad, sad place to be. When you're not teachable, you're acting more like the Pharisees than a disciple of Jesus Christ. God's people are always wanting to learn. The other thing is that an unteachable spirit can cause us to be angry. An unteachable spirit can cause us to be like these religious leaders, to attack and want to kill and ruin and destroy, because winning is what matters, not being godly, not showing love and grace. Be careful, brothers and sisters, that you don't, we need to be humble before our God and be teachable. Because the very moment you or I think we know it all is the very moment we're acting like a Pharisee, not a disciple. Hey, God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow.